Hi, welcome to the tutorial for user management and license optimizer for Jira, but also for all other products and also multi-site. My name is Björn, I'm co-CEO at Resolution, and just join me for our new user management cloud app.
This is my time, I'm on the rise, can't hold me down, I'm too fly. This is my time, ready to shine, brighter than all of the lights, 'cause when it's game time.
So welcome back. You potentially know us when you're in the user management and licensing and permission and group topic. You potentially know us from our server and data center apps. We are the leading data center app for single sign-on and also user sync and group sync. And we waited a while till we thought, okay, now we can create a CloudForge app for user management. And here it is. So let's jump directly into it. So when you have installed the app, it's relatively easy setup. You need to provide an organization API token. Where to do it and how to do it, you can find in our documentation. As soon the initial synchronization is done, you end up in the dashboard. And the dashboard is already powerful. So as you can see on the top, you have a site selector. With a site selector, you can select all sites or a specific site. And watch out, Bitbucket in the Atlassian universe has not really the site concept, but we made it that it look like a site. So Bitbucket will be always separated so that you can manage it in this application too. So when you go to a specific site, you get an overview over all existing products, active users, also inactive users, how many licensed users you have overall, and a first overview. So with this first overview, you can easily decide if you want to do some manual tasks, because you can do manual cleanups or changes on users and groups, or if you want to automate stuff. And there are tons of use cases which we will present in other videos in the future too. In the second tab, you join the user browser. So as you can see, our site selector is sticky. So now we can see all the users of this instance. You get a couple of information here. So you get the username and the email address. You also get information on which site is this user rollout. You can see all the groups of the user with different colors. So groups which are giving product access are more dark gray. Other groups, like the Jira member group here, for example, is more lighter gray. So dark groups giving product access, light gray groups don't. You can also see the rollout apps to the user and which roles the user have and the last active date. So the last active date is a little bit a tricky one, but it's a good one. So the important point on the last active date is what you have selected here. When you select all sites, then we take the youngest last active date from all sites. When you take a specific site, then we take the youngest last active date on all products of these users on this site. And when you choose here a specific product, like Jira, for example, you get exactly the last active date. As you can see here, it changed for the user. So that gives you the possibility to filter down on a very good way for specific use cases. I already started with the filters, and you have tons of powerful filters here. The good point on filters is that you can save and load them. So define your filter once, load it later, and then do bulk actions on these users. That's also the main approach here on this screen. So the idea is you create your filter and you can do easily bulk actions. I will show you in a minute. Let me guide you quickly through the filters. So we have a username search filter. So you can search for exactly for my name, for example, and then you get only my name. You can also search for parts of the mail address. That could be super interesting when you want to find a supplier user or an external user. So you can search for a lot of stuff here. you can define that you want to see all the users which are inactive for specific days. So I want to see here, for example, users which are inactive for 14 days already. So, and you can combine all these filters. So for example, here, inactive for 14 days on this side in Jira, here are our users. So when you now want to decide, okay, I want to deactivate the users, suspend the users, or want to change some groups for free up the license, for example, you can easily do it. You can select the users here. You click on bulk operations, and now you have 4 options. This will be extended in the future for sure. So you can now remove the app access completely. So what happens here in the background is that we are removing the app access group for this. So we filtered for Jira on this side. So when I would do this now, then the app access of these 3 users is gone. And we can simply do it now. We do it. Let's do it. So removing the app access. You can also suspend the users. So this exclude the user or somehow deactivate the users completely in your organization. When you want to learn more about the organizations and site structure in Atlassian, check out our documentation. Link is in the description. You can also remove users from specific groups if you want to change something on the permissions, for example, or you can add these users now to the specific group. Relatively simple. So here we have now 3 users. We have Connie, Confluence, Jira, Jira, and Testy Tester, and we want to suspend them from Jira. So we simply select the stuff and we click apply. So what happens now is that we start this bulk operation. So our app has in the background a Forge SQL database. So we are mirroring all the users to our app. This for a couple of reasons. First of all, to provide you a nice and acceptable performance. Also simple to make these bulk operations functional, because I'm doing it now on 3 users, but you can do it on hundreds of users. So this app clearly solves small and medium business needs, but it's made for enterprises too. So we can see now that the bulk operation is starting. We have here a classic status, which explains what's going on now. This status is also visible for all other admins who are using this app at the moment, for example. So they can see, okay, something is going on here. So we can simply wait here. Let me explain some other filters for this. I can exclude also apps. So for example, you want to find Jira users without Confluence access, for giving them Confluence access, for example. You can search for specific user roles. This is super powerful when you want to find all your guest users on Confluence. You want to find all your Confluence, all your customers on Jira Service Management, for example, or all your admins, contributors, whatever. You can combine this with the exclude groups and include groups filters, and you can also combine it with the sites. Be careful. The site part here is always synchronized with the site selector on top. So, and you can also search for email domains. Again, this is super powerful. Here it allows you to put multiple domains on it. For example, I could do something like this. The filter will now be empty, but I can then also do this. So let's assume you have an organization with different domains or users with different domains. You manage suppliers, you manage external users, whatever, you can filter it. When you have your filter ready, my recommendation is to save a filter. You can simply give it a name. So my demo filter. You can also give an additional description. I'm not doing this yet. You press save, and then you can easily load this filter. Where is it now? My demo filter. You can easily load it here. Okay, so you have seen the user browser. You have seen the automated task. You also see a tab Teams already. This is in preparation. So we want to allow in the future, and when we release the app, And when you see the video, it's already released. You will get some information about teams here, which users are aligned to which teams. And in the future, you will also do changes on teams, and we will include it more and more, also more defined group management. But the user and group management you can do already super powerful with the user browser and the automated tasks. Settings, relatively simple. API key, it needs an organizational API key. You can define what is considered as inactive. So in our case, it's here 3 weeks. So that was for this dashboard part here, inactive users. You can give access to additional users. So in the beginning, logically, app admins or product admins and organization admins have access. A product admin can install the app, but a product admin can't provide an org admin API key. So this means in the beginning, the app access is only for the organization admin. So with these 2 checkboxes, the organization admin can give access to product admins and to user access admins. Be careful with that. It's powerful. What does it mean? So the app is completely multi-product and multi-site. So every person who has access to the app can do changes on all sites for all products. We don't have additional permissions for this at the moment. So potentially will come in the future. Means for you, when you give access to these groups of users, be careful, they have access to everything. So also, small side note, the user access admin need to have a Jira account. So because the app lives in Jira. User data synchronization, that's our every 24 hours synchronization. It synchronizes the last active date. A lot of other synchronizations happens in the background. When you start a task on automated tasks, that we always fetch the latest data. So we call it a quick sync. You can also start this quick sync in the user browser, for example, to get the latest up-to-date data. The last active time or date is anyway just updated every 24 hours. That's why we have a 24 hours synchronization here. And last but not least, Atlassian automation webhooks. We decided to make a really pure Forge app. And this feature here allows you to give notifications for specific things. At the moment, we're limited to 3. This will be extended in the future, but it's super simple. You set up a webhook here, for example, when a task fails or a task succeeds or your organization API key expires. You can go to automation for Jira. You take the webhook as an initial trigger. This will provide the webhook URL and also your webhook secret. You enter it here and then it's set up. So this means, so when it's finished, it looks like this. You have a URL, task succeed. You can do whatever you want with that. You can create new tasks. You can send a Slack message. You can send an email notification. You can create a Confluence page. At the moment, our webhooks are empty. This will be updated soon. And then you can also give additional informations to these tasks, notifications, and so on. So that's the user management and license optimizer app for cloud. That's the first version. We have tons of ideas. Please give it a try. If you have ideas too, please contact us via support or ping me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to have a conversation with you about your ideas, your feedback, and then give it a try, have fun, and we hope it's a helpful tool for you. Thank you very much. Bye.